Bahaullah fulfills prophecy by his prophesied name, his prophesied date, and his prophesied address and prophesied mission as the supreme manifestation of God. The manifestations of God, like Moses, Muhammad, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Zoroaster, the Bab, and Bahaullah, are the source of mysticism. As an individual believer and a human being themselves, of course, they engage in their own personal private practices of prayer and fasting. And by mystic, we mean the mysterious spiritual connection between the lover and the beloved, between the soul that's created and the one true invisible God that's the source of creation. So all of the manifestations of God are the source of mysticism and the source of these revelations and teachings that allow people to develop their own personal, mystical, and spiritual practices. So yeah, there might be other people who we would consider to be like a mystic, like we have an artist and a scientist, but an artist and a scientist can be a mystic also. By mystic, we mean that he is the prayer hearing and prayer answering Lord, that every one of us has insight and has a third eye and has an inner hearing and an inner spiritual reality. By being mystic, we mean the person becomes born again, that he was born of the flesh is flesh and he was born of the spirit is spirit. We become born again, Bahai, in the spirit, rededicate ourselves to every single provision of the Master's sacred will and testament, and we have a rich interior mystical spiritual life. So I would say no, Bahaullah is not like a mystic. I would say yes, as the manifestation of God. He's the source of the teachings of God that are, of course, mystical in nature, and has definitely revealed many different tablets that explain the inner secrets and give us the keys to how to activate and actualize and make real the mystical traditions that we've inherited from the world cultures and revelations of the past. But a mystic, when I think of a mystic like Mullah Sadra or Ibn al-Arabi or Rumi or Christian mystics or Jewish mystics like the Kabbalist rabbis or the Christian Gnostics, I don't have them in the same category, of course, as the manifestations of God. These other ones that I named, they were the followers of the Prophet Muhammad. But according to them, Muhammad's the source of their mystical understanding as the perfect man, Kamil Insan. So this perfect being that the mystics talk about is the manifestation of God. But we wouldn't call Bahaullah a prophet necessarily, meaning that he's like the ones before the time of Muhammad were prophesizing the coming of the kingdom, meaning they were prophesizing the day that we'd be able to elect the Supreme Tribunal, a council of the nations that'll bring peace to the earth. Instead, the Bab closes the door, Bab means door, gate, on the age of prophecy, and he opens the door for the age of fulfillment. This makes Muhammad the last prophet to prophesy the coming of the election of the Supreme Tribunal or the kingdom of God, and it makes Bahaullah the fulfillment of the prophecies. So from this standpoint, the mystical goal of the past was to have this great day where there'd be a marriage of heaven and earth, where the New Jerusalem would descend like a mystical bride adorned for a husband, and we'd have peace on earth with justice from that time forth and forevermore. So from this standpoint, Bahaullah is the Maqsood. He fulfills the prophecy of the blessed perfection and the divine beauty, which is the fulfillment of the desire of the mystics, as being the Qibli, the point of adoration established for the next 5,000 centuries.